So, what's the difference between creating success and creating value? Well, I want to welcome you guys to our very first episode of Aspire Daily. It's a new show where we're going to spend some time talking every single day about the people and things that really matter. Each day, we're going to be analyzing and dissecting a different quote or insight from people who have changed the course of history, the innovators, the leaders, the people that matter, the people that make a difference. As we look at the way that they thought and the way that they structured their lives, we in turn will be able to structure our lives to make a difference in our day and age as well. Today, we're going to be looking at a quote from none other than Albert Einstein, the man whose theories and insight and genius literally changed the course of history and the face of the earth as we know it today. Albert's insight for us today is, and I quote, "Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value." Now, Albert's point is actually really intriguing and even convicting as we think about the difference between success and value and the way that each person structures their lives. The most intriguing point he's making here is that the people who are successful are not necessarily always the same as the people that add value to society. At the end of the day, our goal should not be to be successful for our own sake, but rather to be successful in the sense that we can add value to other people. The differences are small, they're slight, they're subtle, but they make all the difference. So what's the difference between being successful and being a person or a man of value? Well, to answer that, let's take a moment and just reflect on what our society usually thinks of when it thinks of people who are successful. The key indicators of success in our world usually center around things like money, achievement, and fame. Now, there's nothing really intrinsically wrong with either of these things. It's certainly okay to have money. It's certainly great to be a high achiever who experiences the highest levels of expertise in whatever your chosen field is. And it's certainly okay to experience fame in the sense that many people know who you are, what you have done, and are interested in what you do. But the key distinguisher here is that experiencing high levels of income, achievement, and fame don't necessarily make life better for anybody else. In fact, some of the most successful people throughout all of history have actually done the opposite of creating value for others. I think of people like Adolf Hitler, who certainly, by all standards of the world, was successful. He started from the bottom. He worked his way up through the rungs of politics. He inspired a nation to follow him. He achieved ultimate power to where people would do anything he asked, anything he said. In fact, he was almost worshipped like a god by the people around him. Hitler achieved money. Hitler achieved fame. Hitler achieved power. But what Hitler did not do was make the world a better place. On the other hand, we've all experienced people who created value in our lives that, by the world's standards, were not successful. Just think of the wise old man that nobody knows about, who does nothing but pour and invest into his grandchildren. He teaches them, he raises them, he makes them wise, he helps them get good jobs, helps them be great contributing members of society, but nobody knows who he really was. He never gets rich, he never achieves fame, he never achieves power. Now, when we compare our old man to Hitler and we ask ourselves, which one would we prefer society to have more of, the answer is obvious. We don't need more power-hungry people telling other people what to do. We don't need more power-hungry people who get a lot of money and authority, who are charismatic and inspiring, if those people are going to lead the world in the wrong direction. We do need more unspoken heroes that nobody knows about, but who make the world a better place just by being exactly who they are. So the difference between value and success is simple. You can create success without creating value, but you cannot create value without contributing to true success. What Einstein is saying is that we need to pursue lives that are not centered on ourselves and what we can gain and what we can control, but rather we should live lives that are centered on what we can do for the benefit of other people. As you go about your life and you try to be a man of value rather than just a man of success, consider these 4 points to live by. First, a man of success will be able to provide for his own, and there's nothing wrong with that. But a man of value will seek to provide for and strengthen others. Ultimately, men of value are more beneficial because if everybody in society was a man of value, everybody in society would also be a man of success. Consider this. Number 2, a man of success creates a better world for himself. He'll probably be able to have more things, more toys, more fun, more money. But a man of value creates a better world, period. Number 3, in the pursuit of success, a man of success will elevate himself. He'll rise higher than other people around him. He'll achieve more than those who he knows. But a man of value will elevate others. You see, a man of value recognizes that ultimately the world is not about him, and that the world does not improve just because his status in the world has improved. Rather, he recognizes that in order for us to have a better world, each individual person needs to look out for the cares and the needs of others. And finally, remember that ultimately a man of success is forgotten in a generation, while a man of value sees his impact last for generations to come. Think back to the people that were successful in the 18th and the 19th century. The magicians, the salesmen, the really great businessmen who created big businesses but just not quite big enough to make the history books. These people were successful by their day's standards. They had all their needs met. They had bigger houses than the people around them. They probably had servants, maybe even slaves, serving and taking care of their every need. But here I am today, less than 200 years later, and I have no idea who they were. Instead, the people we remember and the people that make the history books are the people who created value so incredible that their influence reverberates through society for generations to come. Think of Albert Einstein, the man who wrote this quote. Yeah, he was a man of success by the world's standards, but that was secondary to who he really was. Albert Einstein was a man of value. He dreaded to see his success be used to harm the world. He looked at himself not as somebody who could take as much as he possibly could from the world for himself, but one who could give back to the world of himself all his time, talent, abilities, and intellect. And that's what we remember him for. In generations to come, nobody will care if you had a 40,000 square foot house. Nobody will care if you had a mansion, a Lamborghini. Nobody's going to care if you had the nicest clothes, the nicest watch. Nobody's going to care if you took the best vacations. Nobody's going to care if you were successful. On the other hand, if you do something with your life that people for generations to come are impacted by, people will remember you for that. If you solve some of the greatest problems that the world has, not to build your own name up, but for the sake of other people, for the sake of society, for the sake of the world and society will remember you for that. And so by creating value, you might create some success for yourself. But even if you don't, always remember, value lasts forever. Success lasts only as long as you do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Every day I'm going to be posting stuff like this just to motivate you and encourage you and help you to get through your day and reorient your life in a positive direction. If you guys found this useful, like this video, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what kind of videos you guys would find useful in the future. Have a great day.